Shalom family, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Yawasab coming at you with another video. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, praise, glory to the Most High Power of Israel, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, doing this work in these last days, waking up the lost sheep. Peace and blessings to everyone pushing this truth in these last days. Say peace and blessings, shalom. Happy new moon. I want to say happy new moon to everyone keeping the new moon feast. Just want to say happy new moon to everyone celebrating the feast. But I have to get into the breaking news from Slocky. It's 1:19 a.m. And shout out to the elders of the House of David. They had a beautiful feast service there. Just got off the crazy interstate. Slovakia. I want to get into the breaking news from yesterday. Okay? I want to show y'all something. And I've been giving this warning. I've been giving this warning in some videos that I've done recently. I'm going to pull the videos recently. This goes back into my earliest videos. Let me see. I'm kind of going back into them. Slovakia. I did two videos. This was 2 months ago. It says, prepare for war and flee doctrine. This was 2 months ago. And then there was a second video called Prepare for War 2, Thoughts, Camera, Action of Deception. Okay? So it was two I did. Prepare for War and Flee Doctrine. That was the first one. And the second one was Preparing for War 2, Thoughts, Camera, Action, Deception. Okay? Now I'm going to go up to my latest videos. The last one I did, the very last one I did was Message to the Married Hebrew Israelites, Endure, and it was breaking news, Russia and China preparing to war America. This is all going into the topic of war in these last days. After all, Slovakia, we are living in a time of war. And truth be told, we've been in war since the fall of 70 AD. Okay? We've never we hadn't gotten out of our punishment, and we've been at war with the heathens and sadly 2 parts of our own people. But I want to show y'all something from yesterday. Let me get to the point. And it's 2 different accounts. This is from End Time Headlines. And it reads, I want to pull the time. Slovakia. End Time Headlines reported yesterday at 1 p.m. New warning issued regarding a potential attack on the electrical grid. That was 1 p.m. Okay? Now, I'm going to go to the second article. This was yesterday at 3:23 p.m. And it reads, Solar storm from the Cannibal Sun eruption may impact power grid, satellites, radio signals, etc. That was the second one. But I want to go back to the first one at 1 p.m. from yesterday. New warning issued regarding a potential attack on electrical grid in Northeast U.S. I told you guys, man, I've been trying to warn y'all, and this goes back to my days street teaching in Brooklyn. Shout out to HY. Street teaching, especially that year, the Scarecrow during the lockdown. I always gave this warning, man. And, truth be told, for us to get into the kingdom, man, we gotta witness the fall of this current one, man. And I know you Negroes in the world, y'all don't want to hear this, man. Y'all don't want to hear, y'all playland, your fantasy land, gonna be shut down suddenly. Y'all don't want to hear that, man, because y'all want to deal with college football, NFL, NBA, all the wickedness this kingdom has to offer. Why it's collapsing, man. This thing is crumbling. On that year of the lockdown that led to the sick agenda on that topic, it went from first 19 states to an additional, I believe, 11 and 12. You have half of the country basically giving neo-Nazi Joe the middle finger. Okay? So that agenda is going nowhere fast. But they in warp speed. I guess they trying to push, I would assume, they're trying to push micro scarecrow Maxine. Micro scarecrow Maxine. Micro scarecrow Maxine. Y'all know where I'm going with that. Okay? I guess that's why they keep pushing that sickness, but I digress. Back to the topic of this. You have the new warning issue regarding a potential attack on electrical grid in Northeast U.S. EMP. That's where that's really going. And then you have one from the Most High, basically. Solar storm from cannibal sun eruption may impact power grid satellites and radio signals. Just left the new moon feast. It was beautiful. Again, salute to HODC. The elder made a good point. It's a probability Esau might be up to his tricks. But you can't stop the one the Most High send. And he's going to send, the Most High's behind all this when the smoke clear. Okay? But the question would be, and I've asked this before, are you guys prepared for this time that's approaching? Okay? Are you guys truly ready? So I honestly, I think certain Israelites, y'all act like y'all don't want to get out of this place, man. That's a general disclaimer. A lot of you cats, y'all say one thing and I don't know if you truly mean it. But what happens if the Most High knock out the grid? Are you guys truly prepared? Are you guys ready to be delivered? That's the question I'm asking right now. Are you guys ready to go home? Are you guys prepared for this mega famine, a super famine, to shut it down and set the way for God's chosen people? There's got to be a righteous remnant and government body that's on the same page as myself. I want to get the hell out of here, man. But on this topic of EMPs and a solar storm that could still knock out the grid, let's get into it. Let's deal with that. It shouldn't be a long video, but because those stories surfaced yesterday, let's add to that. All right. Darkness in the land prior to Judgment Day. Okay? Darkness in the land prior to Judgment Day. Okay? This will be the last days before the Most High and the angelic forces come and get us out of here. Whenever that unknown time period will be. Again, darkness in the land prior to Judgment Day. This is how it'll be in the event an EMP knocks out the grid, or the Most High just whack it with a solar flare and still bring in a bad famine. Okay? No public assistance. You can kiss your EMS, your fire department, your police department, all that public assistance. That was really of no use any damn ways, I guess. You can kiss all that goodbye. Because they bill you for every damn pickup. Everything is with a damn price tag in Babylon the Great. Moving on. Yeah, no public assistance. Let's get the scriptures first. I'm going to bring these back out. And then I'm just going to go over the heartbreaking scenario. I mean, for me, if it happened, and again, it's a time of war. And I'm going to put myself out there in this war. A lot of us won't make it. And that includes myself. You guys got to keep in mind, it's a time of war. And we have been at war for thousands of years. When you go back to the fall of 70 AD. We've been at war for a long time. Okay? It is a time of war. Keep that in mind. Let's go to Salakia. Zephaniah. I'm just going to bring out these scriptures. I bring these out often, but I've touched on this in many videos. I mentioned that. Zephaniah 1:15. It reads, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Okay. Verse 16. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Okay. Verse 17. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Okay, and this is Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So even if Esau, Edom, these wicked elites are staging an EMP attack, you ain't getting around the solar flare. And the Most High, like he cut down ancient Egypt, it's no longer a debate. He's destroying America. And that's what 3 Ks in the back of America, because America is racist and wicked as hell. And I'm glad that the Most High is setting a way to get us out of here. Okay? Let's get Amos 5:18. And I'm going to go into the breakdowns and scenarios. Okay? Amos 5:18 reads, I have to bring this out, but I'm going to bring it out. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So remember, it also gives us in Peter's, and I believe Acts 14:22 or 24, the righteous, the chosen people, you're going to scarcely get out. I think Israelites are nervous to, come to grips that the new world's coming. And I guess maybe some Israelites try to cleave to what's left of Babylon, but it makes no sense. This place is coming down. There's got to be a great number of Hebrews to summon a deliverance, We can't dwell in this land no more, okay? But moving on. That was Amos 5:18. Read that again. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went to the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? Okay, that's thus said the Lord. Let's go into probable scenarios with an event of an EMP attack or a solar flare to knock this grid out forever. Because the Most High gotta finalize the hit on Babylon the Great so we could get out of here and be delivered into the kingdom. Well, the judgment, the covenant, God willing, then the kingdom. Hopeful remnant, hopeful elect. Okay? Probable scenarios. Post-EMP attack on America. Okay? You know, when the grid go, just imagine this, man. Picture this. The planes are normally on their way to dock and, you know, land at their respective airports. If an EMP happens while the plane docking, there goes your engine and there goes your plane. Okay? And it ain't going to always be a miracle at Hudson when them EMPs, or if the Most High send a solar flare, you could kiss those miracles goodbye. All right? Plane crashing. Plane crashes at random. Imagine being on the highway, man, in Babylon the Great, and the EMP go off. All of a sudden, the bulk of the vehicles just stop suddenly. You talking massive crashes, car accidents. You talking one of the worst famines that hit the land. You talking about a famine so bad that it make this agenda, Scarecrow, Maxine, Vanessa, make this look like the wind blowing. And that's coming. And we got to be ready for this thing. A famine of mass proportion to be a crushing blow to these elites and this wicked kingdom called Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, a.k.a. Sodom and Egypt, a.k.a. modern day Rome, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. A crushing blow to set the stage for this exodus, man. That's what's coming. It's coming, okay? Again, massive plane crashes, Slovakia, vehicle pileups on all freeways, just gross chaos, okay? Civil unrest, great panic, okay? Anarchy. Because understand, if the grid go, the elites, I wouldn't put it past them to try doing it on their own. But if the Most High do it, they're gonna be in more trouble than they could think. You can't comprehend the Most High, okay? The Most High send that solar flare, this thing is done. Either or is done. Remember, these so-called powers that be, they're a bunch of idiots. They probably tested and won't be able to get the power back on any damn way. And it's all of the Most High to get his chosen out of here. Okay? A great migration. Slocky, mind you, you already have a migration with 4.3 million plus and counting over the sick agenda. That's a migration. But imagine a migration with no more shopping, no more gas, no more stores to go to. It's just you, your family, you're on your own. You better hope and pray the angels are with you in such a time as this. Which I believe is imminent, by the way. Okay? Y'all want the kingdom of heaven? You got to expect this time. You have to expect this to come along the way. I told y'all in a recent video, don't expect this thing to get back to normal. Expect worse judgments to come. Okay? And let's continue on. A great migration. Mind you, no power, no anything. Just on your own. Okay? Technically, the Civil War started January 6th. That's going to continue, and it'll just be bloodshed. Okay? Had sources send me images of the cyborg dog. I remember I believe it was the year of the lockdown. You had a cyborg dog, but I guess it was a test run that had no gun attached or no guns mounted on it. The latest images, when you search that, none of y'all have guns mounted. A good friend of mine in the community sent me images. I won't post it, of cyborgs, because you know when this grid is gone, you would anticipate military groups to make the scene. Okay. Slakia. Shout out to the brothers in purple, IUIC. They recently did a video. I believe it's called "The War to End War," something to that effect. Let me see if I can find that. He actually went in depth in the video. It's called, I'll tell you the name of that video. It's a solid video. It gives it in-depth breakdown. Slakia. It's called "The War to End All Wars." That's a must-watch video. That's from IUIC. 30,000 plus views. And when you watch this video, Slakia, when you watch that video, they go in depth on how the elites created these super soldier suits. You had one, I believe it was Russia. The lady was walking through. It was a soldier. It was a lady. She was walking through this suit. The bombs were hitting and it had no effect. And they went into other details of what's going to be out there in these last days when this Jacob's trouble is at a peak. Of course, in my recent videos, you know, I'm not the only one saying Jacob's trouble here. It just hadn't reached that peak. But obviously, if an EMP or a solar flare knocks this grid out, that's his peak in every sense of the word. That's your family of the word. That's all that in one shot. Okay? And if y'all really want to be delivered, you would have to anticipate this day. Okay? I'm gonna keep it very honest with you guys. I pray for that day. Only thing you could do while we still have time is prep. It's prep, you know, and just, if the grid go, have your little bug out bag in the back of your truck, you know. Have your gear, you know. If you're in the car, even if you're using transit, have your little mini bug out bag, and you don't know. But yesterday's news, you know, it's an eye-opener. Yeah, foreign threats of an EMP. You know, the elders said maybe it'll be Esau that'll do it. Maybe not. Now you have a solar flare threat. It's a lose-lose deal. The only thing you can do is prepare for it. That's it. And again, because we're in a time of war, you know, some of us won't make it. Some of us want to die in this time. But if you die in this truth, that's a beautiful thing. Always know that. If you pass away in this truth, in this time, because it's going to be mass bloodshed, man. It's going to be a lot of death out there, man. Okay? But y'all have to be prepared and believe in Yahweh Shai, man. Y'all have to believe. The hell with America, man. I pray for it because I want to get out of here. And pray that, you know, the Most High have mercy on my soul come judgment. Okay? Yeah, like I was saying, Civil War, a great migration, cyborg soldiers, super soldiers, basically going to be unleashed and put on this ground. When you go into the video, the brother said even a foreign invasion, which is very probable. Okay? Foreign invasion is very probable. But like the cyborg soldiers, the super soldiers, you know, the cyborg dogs, all that stuff, that'll probably be sent out against chiefly the military groups and the gangs that's going to be out there. Okay? Yeah, I just mentioned probable foreign invasion of America prior to the thermonuclear destruction. Because contrary to popular belief, this final judgment is closer than our comprehension. A famine of great proportion, without a shadow of doubt, will be an EMP or a solar flare to destroy the power grid. Remember, this is also God judging this wicked country, man, for all the harm it's done to God's people and God's creation. Okay? That's what's going on. That's what's going down. Okay? Thousands upon thousands of dead bodies round about. That's what's going to happen, family. And we got to be ready. Let me see if I can find a precept to back the bodies left and right. I believe it's in Psalms. Let me see if I can find it in Psalms. Is it Psalms 91? Let me see. Slakia. Psalms 91. All right, it's Psalms 91 and 7. Let's read that. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Okay, I'm going to read those two again. Psalms 91 and 7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Okay? Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. If y'all want the kingdom of heaven, you gotta anticipate the Heavenly Father finishing off the remaining plagues. Obviously, the remaining seals and the trumpets to go off to get us out of here. That's what I want. You know, I second if some of these Israelites, Slakia, some of you guys really want to get out. I want to get out, man. There's nothing to look forward to here anyways. The place is borderline wicked, man. Point blank period. This place is borderline wicked. And it's the deliverance is only for a remnant. It ain't for these how you say Babylonian Jakes and Eves, the bootleg clique, and just the wicked of our people. It's not for y'all, you know. We know what's gonna happen to two parts of us. They're just gonna die in their wickedness, man. They're gonna burn away with Esau Edom, man. That's what's gonna happen. And sadly enough, with this sick agenda that we in right now, it's so many breakthrough cases, the media can't even post it no more. I have breakthrough cases, which I won't show because they'll stop the video. Okay? Y'all want to stay in the world like this? And I want to stay in the world like this. The Most High have to finish the job, man. And before that great day of deliverance, I would only imagine some type of EMP attack or something to knock down this grid. Okay? Let's continue on. Again, thousands upon thousands of dead bodies round about. Let's deal with other scenarios regarding an EMP strike. Yeah, of course, prison breaks. That'll happen. How about zoo breaks? Yes, zoo breaks. Wild animals running loose, man. Wild animals from every major city and state running loose now. Imagine that. Attacking and killing at will. That's going to happen. So, I got brother Slakia, brothers say abomination, desolation is coming back. Yeah, you know what? They're right. In that time, in this season to come, Most High willing, if the Most High ain't with you in that day, if you're not chosen in that day, it's not gonna work out. Okay? It's scary, man, but that's what's coming. And we gotta be ready, man. So in this truth, you have to first and foremost keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and love one another, man. Put all the beef and strife on the side. You know, if brothers and sisters may have wronged you, you still have to love them. This is Hebrew Israelite to Hebrew Israelite. I don't give a damn about heathens, white supremacists. The Most High don't know them anyways, okay? But when it comes to us, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, natives, all the children of the diaspora, we got rules, we got laws to keep, okay? We got laws to keep. It's a heritage, it's our heritage. We're taking it back, and, you know, the Most High bringing the judgment. So with all the signs happening, it must be getting closer and closer, I would imagine, okay? To avoid this harsh judgment, okay? Again, zoo breaks, wild animals running loose, attacking and killing at will. Death and bloodshed at a scary rate, man. There's going to be dead bodies everywhere. There's going to be dead bodies everywhere. And you know last time this happened? In ancient Egypt. When the Most High dropped a famine to kill the firstborn of all living creatures, man. You had dead bodies everywhere then. You're going to have dead bodies all over the place in this final Egypt. That's the classic in Deuteronomy 20:68. Into Egypt again with ships. That's for you hard-head Negroes. You're not the color of a Crayola crayon box. You're not a Hamite. You're not African. You guys are the Hebrew Israelites, man. And y'all got to come home before this great judgment hit this earth. And the worst judgment going to come after that. Them thermonuclear missiles. And we warned y'all before everything shut down. You Slakia, you best believe that family of the word, that's imminent with an EMP. And you'll never hear my voice again. You will never see the camps again. At that time, it's going to be too late. Okay? It's going to be too late. Continuing on. Imagine these mega cities. Endless buildings. All on fire. Most of these buildings going to go up in smoke. Imagine the gas pipes going off. You know. Buildings on burning from afar. All manner of chaos, man. It's going to happen with this mega plague. It's due. It's due anyways, man. You think I sound like someone that give a damn about a normal life in Babylon the Great? Why the country divide against itself? And I mean, it's this thing is horrific in every step of the way, family. America's already in a civil war. Truth be told. Okay? Yeah, dark gray, ashy skies. You're talking about darkness and gloominess, man. Okay? A day of thickness, a day of slacky, a day of thick darkness, gloominess, and blackness. A dark day, literally, man. Okay? Desolation. That's what's going to be left, man. You know, the elder could have been right. The elites might stage it. Here's the problem if they actually do it. And Slacky, expect this to happen. I'm not expecting no, you know, you got one article popped up, everything going to be normal in January. Don't believe the hype. The Most High is going to knock this place down for good. Okay? Desolation and doom. Okay? Let's deal with the destruction. So this video, it's basically done already. I'm already down to remaining precepts, and I'm going to shut it down. Let's go to Revelations. Let's read through these. Let's get Revelations 18 and 8. Let's get to the point. Because I would only imagine after this gross darkness hits Babylon the Great and cripple America, this would follow with it. Okay? Revelations 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judged her. Okay? Let's get 2nd Esdras. Let's get that in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. Let's get that in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. It reads, Slakia. I'm just trying to get that precept, family. Give me one moment. Second Ezra 15:41. I'm going to read this. Fire and hell and flying swords, meaning the missiles, and many waters that all fields may be full, and all rivers with abundance of great waters. Verse 42. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows and their corn. Verse 43, 2nd Ezra 15:43. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. That's going into the destruction of America and all its cities. That's what's coming. Okay? Verse 44. They shall come to her and besiege her, the star and all rats shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. That's going into the destruction of this sick, wicked kingdom. Okay? That's going into the missiles just tearing this place apart. Okay? Let's get actually I'm gonna continue to read 2nd Ezra 15. I'm gonna stop at 48. 2nd Ezra 15:45. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. That's also going to slavery. Verse 46. And thou, Asia, thou art partake of the hope of Babylon, and thou art the glory of her person. Slack in verse 47. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. That's going into the wickedness and philosophies of how America basically brainwashed all nations with their whoredom. And when you read in Revelations, it goes into the sorcery when you read Revelation, the 18th chapter. But that's going into the fall of this wicked kingdom. Because, again, final judgment is in the background already, man. It could be debated. The agenda is the actual MOB. Brothers brought out, they pushing, micro scarecrow now, but that's debatable because I can't say that's debatable. If I go into that, they're going to shut me down. But let's just say that could be debated. Moving on. Let's get the classic in Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9. Let's link them up. Because it's never going to get better. And America not coming back. Forget about it. Forget it. It's over, family. It's all of the Most High. I'm getting excited. The Most High gotta finish the hit, man. Y'all want the kingdom, right? Don't we want to be delivered into Zion? Through the covenants, immortality? That's what y'all want, right? Well, you got to go through the rest of this famine and destruction by way of the Most High. He's the one doing it to set us on high in the kingdom. The hell with America. The hell with this wicked place. Better pray for this thing to manifest, man. Real talk. Jeremiah chapter 50. Y'all got me all excited now, man. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9, the classic. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Okay? Now we know that I was dealing with ancient Babylon. Okay? But that's Salakia is synonymous with the destruction that's coming to America. Babylon the Great. Okay? They link up. It's going to be a very similar destruction, except it won't be no regular arrows. It's going to be thermonuclear missiles by way of ICBMs, okay? Fired from Russia, China, all the nations are going to just let it rip on this wicked kingdom. I want to let y'all know something, man. Listen up. When you think about the agenda and all the global protests over this agenda, you think these nations really think the status quo from Wuhan to be true? While in Babylon the Great, you got World Health Organization and the CDC that's notorious for doing wickedness for a long time, for years. Ask the Native Americans. They put smallpox on the blankets and then took out Gad with their witchcraft, man. You don't think these nations know America is chiefly behind this anyways? This sick country. Only thing they do is bring in witchcraft and sorcery to destroy all manner of living. That's why the Most High said in Jeremiah 50 and 9, and I'm going to read it again, for lo, I will raise up and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Remember, prior to that G20 summit, America pulled a deal from France and armed Australia with submarines. Because apparently Australia, Slovakia, they may be warring China. They have this thing against China. Okay? But in the heat of World War III, of course, when you go into World War III, the nations, as I just read in Jeremiah 50 and 9, they're ultimately going to turn their back on America. Why? It's over this sick agenda that, without a shadow of doubt, America started. They just want to watch over everybody. And these nations not having that. So the Most High is going to put a spirit on all those nations to press that button to destroy this place, man. And if you're a Hebrew Israelite, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, continue to do so, you get delivered. Most High will. If you're a wicked nigga, it's not for you. I hate to say it that way. But if you're a wicked nigga, it ain't for you, man. Okay? And that's chiefly going into these Babylonian-minded Hebrews that love these I have no king but Caesar sellouts of our people. That's going into them. Okay? So that's going into the destruction. Let's hit Revelation 21:1. I'm almost done. A lot is happening right now, man. Those accounts of probable EMP attacks. Come on, man. Getting close. It's heating up. Revelation 21:1 reads, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Because on this side, it's just going to be desolation, man. It's going to be gross desolation, man. After the missiles, after the destruction, I would imagine they're going to set off Yellowstone and all, with other volcanoes. I think they have some in Seattle. There's a big one there. All that's going to go into mass eruptions as well, okay? This place is going to just be finished, okay? Let's get Revelations 11. We're almost done with the lesson, guys. But I wanted to bring it out since those two articles came out. I say, you know what? Let's get into it. I was slocky. I was going to do this video at another time, but because I had two accounts of probable EMP hits, I'm like, you know what? Let's bring it out right now. Okay? Revelations 11 and 12. For the Israelites thinking you won't get delivered prior to the destruction, I'm going to bring these back out for you guys. So obviously, the abomination of desolation, the great pilgrimage and this time, going back to this EMP attack or solar flare that destroys the grid. Okay? This is what's going to happen to the righteous of God's chosen. Revelation 11 and 12. And Revelation 11 and 12 reads, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, the chosen, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Because remember, in this time, the wicked still going to be doing their wickedness. Even in a time of no more power, they still going to be, how do you say, they still going to be doing their wicked deeds. Even at a lower state, they still going to be trying to do all they can do to destroy God's people. Okay? Revelation 11 and 12 again from the top. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. They're going to be confounded in that day. Okay? Isaiah 45:17. Let's get that legend. Isaiah 45:17 reads, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So the righteous is actually going to be delivered. And again, when you read Isaiah, the 45th chapter, 45 through 25, that's dealing with the chosen. Okay? Read that, study that on your own. Let's get Zechariah 13:8 and 9. Winding down. Zechariah 13. Actually, we're going to read, 13:8. I'm going to read 7 through 9. Zechariah 13 and 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, said the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. That's going into the fall. That goes back to 70 AD. That goes to us being a rebellious people, rebellious against the Heavenly Father of creation, the Slakia, coming up against the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. As we did, we were punished and scattered. Okay, that's what that's going into, and we still serving our punishment right now. Slakia, Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. That's going into judgment of the Hebrew Israelites. 2 parts of them, they finished. Okay? Verse 9, Zechariah 13:9 reads, and I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Okay? That's going into the deliverance of the chosen. Let's get Isaiah 43, 1 and 2. Almost done. I'm down to my last one, I think. Isaiah 43, 1 and 2. These are my favorites, by the way. But now thus said the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. Verse 2, when thou pass through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. That goes back into our foreparents and family walking through the Red Sea. The waters didn't touch them. Moving on. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. That's going into the time of the destruction. You know, when the missiles come, and if you're chosen, that's what that's really going into when you read it. And ultimately you get beamed up in the cloud. Going back to Revelations 11 and 12. Okay? That's the day of deliverance. Okay? Still judgment. Let's get the judgment in Ezekiel 20:34. It doesn't end with the deliverance. Let's read this. Slakia. Ezekiel 20:34 read Slakia. Actually, we're going to say Ezekiel 20 and 33. It reads, as I live, said the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. Going into Zion, verse 34. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you were scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. So much for God is love, right? Verse 35, and I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. Verse 36, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. That's almost 4,000 years ago, during the time of the first Exodus, when our foreparents and family members went off in the wilderness, okay? Ezekiel 20:36, again from the top. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, said the Lord God. Verse 37, and I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. That's going into the new covenant. That's your Hebrews 8:8. That's Hebrews 8:8 through 11. We're not in there yet, but that's what this is going into. In verse 38, and I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country wherein they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Lord. And that's another cut to brothers saying you could be a wicked Negro and you're going to get the kingdom. Not according to this verse right here. Read it again. Ezekiel 20:38. And I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country wherein they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. That's a link up with Revelations 20. That's Revelations 20 and 10 through 15. That you can link that up with Daniel 12 and 2. You know, Brothers are going to find out the hard way. Brothers and sisters that believe you could be wicked and still get the kingdom. Not happening. But with that, family, I want to bring out this warning from this breaking news. I'm going to end it with the breaking news articles again. The first one was at 1 p.m. New warning issued regarding a potential attack on electrical grid in northeast United States. That was the first one. Then the Most High sent the two-piece solar storm from cannibal sun eruption may impact power grids, satellites, and radio signals. One or the other is going to cause this thing to go off, but it's all of the Most High. Okay? With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, glory to the Most High power of Israel, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, the apostles, teaching this truth in these last days. Peace and blessings to all doing this work, waking up the lost sheep of the house of Israel in these last days. Happy new moon. With that, shalom.